friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to day 2 of Vlogmas, also known as the time of year when I embarrass myself most completely. Because why not? What's YouTube for if not to slightly embarrass yourself, so that if you're in person or in real life, friends see your videos, or your family, oh my goodness, if your family watches these videos, you would be mortified if they mentioned it over the dinner table. But that's what Vlogmas is for, right? So let's get on with it. I know you're here because you want to hear the jingle again. So here's the jingle, right? I should sing it at the end. Nah, sing it at the beginning too. Let's go. Jingle time. It's the most wonderful time of the day. There'll be book lists we're showing and copies we're holding and games that we'll play. It's the most wonderful time of the day. I know the lyrics change every day because yesterday we said part of the year and part of the day, but it's all fine. You're here for all of it, right? I sincerely hope I'm not losing followers by doing these videos. It's fun. It's fun for me, and I hope it's fun for you. It's, you know, it's a time of the year where we kind of let our hair down a little bit. Videos not quite so edited. I mean, I haven't been editing videos for probably 3 years, but yeah. So today for day 2, we're here for book lists. We're doing maybe 30 days, maybe 24 days of book lists. We're doing book lists for Vlogmas, and so today's list is my TBR. It's my TBR. So at the beginning of the year, you may remember, I'll flash copies of these pictures that I'm referencing. At the beginning of the year, I had a TBR, a list of books that I said I wanted to read this year. Oh man, and I'm looking at some of them right there. A lot of them are also right here. And throughout the year, I didn't read as much as I thought I might have at the beginning of the year. I had all these other things that I was reading for. Like, I read a lot for the BookTube Prize judging process, and it just like, it consumed a lot of my reading time. So some of the other things, and then there were these other challenges that I was participating in, and of course book club reading, and kind of forgot about my TBR, or at least it wasn't the thing that I was choosing from. That annual TBR, I wasn't choosing from it every month. So at the end of November, I realized I still have like a lot of books here on the TBR that are still unread. So I started getting some of them from the library, and so yeah, I'm gonna share with you now these pictures, these little pictures that I made at the beginning of the year, so I could have the images in front of me. I thought they would be motivating. What a mistake I don't make. The point is that I have these lists that were my TBR at the beginning of the year. We're going to go through them and see how many of the books I've read. And you'll tell me how many of these books you've read. And then at the end, I'll show you my TBR stack for December, because my TBR is just the physical books that I have that I know I'll be... The physical books that I have that I am hoping to get through in December. But hopefully that will help me to make like significant progress on these lists, and it will be a better list going into 2023 is what I'm hoping. So let's go through my 2022 TBR together, and I'll tell you, you'll see on the list how many of the books I've read, and you'll tell me how many you read, and we'll take it from there. So these are classics and backlist titles, and they're kind of they may be a little bit jumbled, so you may see classics and then backlist and then classics again, but let's start with classics. So Peter Pan, I have read. So a little check mark that says I've read the book. A Passage to India, I still haven't read. The publisher sent me this copy like last year. Oliver Twist, Charles Dickens, still haven't read. Ulysses, James Joyce, I haven't read. I don't even think I have a physical copy, so I will not be planning to read that in December. Brycehead Revisited, I have a copy out from the library. This is Evelyn Waugh's novel. David Copperfield, Charles Dickens, I haven't read. Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck, I didn't get to, but I did read Of Mice and Men, which I loved. The Odyssey, Homer's Odyssey, I haven't read, and I'm not putting it on my TBR for December because I feel like that needs more time and space to just kind of explore. Uncle Tom's Cabin, Harriet Beecher Stowe, I'm hopeful. Anna Karenina is not on my TBR for December. Let's just be realistic. I'm not reading that in 1 month, so that's not on my TBR. Willa Cather's novel, My Antonia, I did read. So on this page, I read 3 of these books. 3 points from me. Yay. How did you do on that first page? Next page, another classics list. Souls of Black Folk, W.E.B. Du Bois, was on my TBR this year because I want to reread it, but I have read it in the past. I get a point, but I'm not crossing it off here because I still want to reread it. So, add 1 point for me. Hope you've read it too. Can You Forgive Her, Anthony Trollope, another author that I have not yet checked out. I thought this would be the year that I read some Trollope, as well as Elizabeth Gaskell. Wives and Daughters is the next book on that list, as well as Sherlock Holmes. Like, I thought this was the year. 2022 was not the year to explore Conan Doyle, Elizabeth Gaskell, or Anthony Trollope. So maybe 2023 will be the year, but the point is I haven't read either of those 3 books. Jonathan Swift, Gulliver's Travels, I haven't yet read. Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll, I did read that this year. Yay, a point for me. Catcher in the Rye, I read like January, and it was great. I liked it. J.D. Salinger is still the only thing I've read by Salinger. I want to read more of his writings, but not yet. Catch-22, Joseph Heller, didn't get to it this year. Fahrenheit 451, I haven't yet read, but I do have a copy out from the library, so that's on my TBR this month. The Beautiful and the Damned by F. Scott Fitzgerald, I haven't gotten a copy, so it's not on my TBR this month, although I think it's a short read. But no, I just long or short, I just can't add any more books. You'll see when you see my TBR stack. Then there's Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. No. The Jungle, Upton Sinclair. I'm gonna try. I've had a copy for a long time. And I should really get to it. It's not that big, and it's just like so influential. But no, on this page, 2 points. How many points have you guys gotten yet so far? What am I saying? How many points do you have so far? Okay, so classics on the next page as well. Okay, these may be a little bit more organized than I thought. Richard Wright's Black Boy, I did read this year. Invisible Man, Ralph Ellison, I didn't get to, but I did read C.S. Lewis, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I have started reading Middlemarch. I haven't finished, and I'm not sure how, because I'm not sure how, when I'm going to finish, because I'm also reading another big book. Middlemarch is huge. And so is this book that I'm currently reading, The Golden Notebook, and buddy reading that with Britta Bowler. And Britta must be like, she must be like, what kind of buddy reader is Karen? But yeah, so I'm focusing on this big book, and then when I'm finished with that big book, then I'll pick up back Middlemarch, and I may have to start it again from the beginning, in which case I'll just, if I can't recall the story enough to continue with it, I'll abandon it and leave it for next year. That's just where we are at this point. So no, I don't get a point for Middlemarch. Sad face. The Scarlet Letter, Nathaniel Hawthorne, I have not read, not this year. I think I read it years ago, but I put it on here because I wanted to actually say that I've read it, and I didn't get to it this year. Robinson Crusoe, Daniel Defoe, I haven't read. Native Son by Richard Wright, no, because I read Black Boy, and I could only read one at a time. Like one, I have to space it out to read the next one, and I just didn't get back to him. Brave New World, Aldous Huxley, no. But I did read Anne of Green Gables and the second book in the series. And then I read The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Portrait of a Lady by Henry James was on my TBR for Victober. I think I may have read like 1 or 2 pages, and then I put it back because I picked up other things. Then The Picture of Dorian Gray, I did read last month. Yay! So on this page, I have 5 points. This is fantastic. We're getting better. Are we getting better? Next is some backlist titles. I've only read 3 of this set of 12. So Alan Patton's Cry the Beloved Country, I did read. Thank You Again, Patrice. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I have not read The Corrections, and that's not on my TBR because that's another big book, as is The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen. Putting all of those for next year. Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. I may have even taken it out. It may be here. If it's here, then we'll see. But this stack is what we're working on. So Anne Patchett's Bel Canto is the next book. Maybe. Maybe. The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, I did read. One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. I have a copy out from the library. Actually, it's upstairs because my husband said he wants to read it. So it's upstairs on the nightstand. Dear Life by Alice Munro, not yet. The Shadow of the Wind, also not yet. All of these books are not getting read in December, guys. Infinite Jest is another huge book. It's over there. No, we're putting that for next year. Next year's the year we decide if we're going to read it or just like give it away. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey, I did read last month. And The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is up there somewhere. And no, I haven't read it, and I forgot to put it on in the stack, so I'm not adding any more books to the stack list. That's just where we are at this point. Then there is another page of backlist, another set of 12. Out of Africa, I haven't read. The Name of the Rose, I haven't read. The Bell Jar, I did read. The Secret History, I haven't read. A Separate Peace by John Knowles, I haven't read. Confederacy of Dunces, John Kennedy Toole. Man, I've had a copy for so many years. It's up there somewhere. And no, I'm not reading it this year. Golden Notebook is... So I put a check because I'm about halfway through the book. I'll finish it before the end of the year is what I'm saying. So that's why I gave myself a point. I hope that's not cheating. Then Memoirs of a Geisha. No, didn't read, not gonna read. Rabbit Run by John Updike, I did read. Atonement by Ian McEwan, I started, but I haven't finished it. I started it last month and I need to get back to it. So I don't know, guys. I don't know is what I'm saying. But I will finish it. All these books that I have out from the library, I'm going to work on finishing. A Prayer for Owen Meany, no. And A Clockwork Orange is a maybe. I think I may even have a copy out from the library. So here's another list of classics. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, no. Dante's Inferno, no. I did read The Awakening by Kate Chopin. The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, I was tempted to add to my TBR in January for a challenge, but it's a 600-page book and that challenge is kind of time-based, so I didn't add it, but I will try to read it next year, is what I'm saying. I'm not reading it in December. Test of the D'Urbervilles? No. War and Peace. No. That's a hard no for December. And A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, no, next year. Little House on the Prairie, I did read the first 2 books in the series, and I have the third one on my TBR in December because I think I'll need a light book to read when I'm trying to go through all of these heavier classics and stuff. Next page, The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. I have a copy out from the library, but I haven't yet read it. The Virgin Suicides, same. On the Road, Jack Kerouac, I did read. I read that early in the year. V.S. Naipaul's A Bend in the River, I haven't gotten to yet. And Reading Lolita in Tehran, I did read early in the year too. And see, I put the whole Harry Potter series on here. What a laugh. No, I haven't touched that, and that's not happening in December. So this is the last page of the TBR, and good effort. I have 4 points on this page. Read Persuasion by Jane Austen. Read Mrs. Palfrey the Claremont by Elizabeth Taylor. Walden, no. Moby Dick, no. The Count of Monte Cristo, man, one day I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna read that beautiful cloth-bound classic that way. I'm gonna read that beautiful cloth-bound classic that I bought to participate in this read-along that Dee Dee hosted for Read Sold It. But for this year, no, it's a no. Another no for Three Musketeers. The Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole in Many Lands. I gave myself a point because I'm about halfway through it, but I'm not done. I was reading it for Nonfiction November, and I'm not finished. Olada Equiano is also on my Nonfiction November TBR. I haven't started, but so no, I don't get a point for that because I didn't even crack the spine. But Notes from the Underground, I put on my TBR for December. The Yellow Wallpaper is on my the Yellow Wallpaper I read early in the year too. Swan's Way, man, I bought this beautiful copy of Swan's Way, this exact picture too, and it's still up on the shelves and I haven't read it. I just didn't. And then East of Eden is that beautiful copy right there. No, haven't read it is what I'm saying. So no. So that's my 2022 TBR. That's how I've done with it so far. But then I have this stack, and I'll show you my TBR because we're not going to go through it. This video is getting really long. So I'll make that another video. I'll make that another video where I show you, I go through the books on my TBR. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some points. I hope you like classic books, in which case, I hope you like classic books, and I've read a lot of them, in which case you'd have aced this challenge. But for me, you see how many points I got. So I'll put a number, I'll put the tally here on the screen, including my cheat edition. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you got more points than I did. I hope you did. I hope that will motivate you to come back tomorrow for the next video for Vlogmas, or as we call it, the most wonderful time of the day or the year, however you want to say it. So thank you so much for being here. We'll be back soon with another video, and I hope you join me for it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until we come back for another one, happy reading. Happy Vlogmas. Bye.